You could make money via horse races. I could. I was kind of waiting to go to the glacial area and get the new horses there before doing more. I'm not even going to bother with the fish right now. I'm going to save everything for the sharks. Cohh doesn't know how to finish games. It's all right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't finish every game. It's true. I gotta be having fun. Gotta be enjoying it. It's a big part of the streamerino. We're going to play Jagged Alliance 3. I am absolutely going to try it. I don't know how far I'm going to go with the run, but I'm definitely planning on trying. I've decided on my first Baldur's Gate 3 character. Check out the Baldur's Gate 3 class command. Yep. For anyone wondering that. And for the record, that's the command right there. Okay, I pretty much always go this way and never see a cookie cutter shark, so let's make a conscious effort to go the other direction. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, dude. Ow. You get early access with the pre-orders? You do. Yep. You get early access to, it's important to mention, you get early access to Baldur's Gate 3, but it's only for the first act, for the 3 days. And then on August 3rd is when you can do, I think that's when the whole game opens up. You know what? No, I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, because we can trank with the gun. We only need to trank twice, so. Oh, we also have a panel from hell from Baldur's Gate in 4 days. So I don't know what they're going to announce there, especially considering they just dropped a bomb on us like last week. But we do have a panel from hell in like 4 days. And we absolutely will be watching it, as we have pretty much every other one. The panel from hells are always just wildly entertaining. They're a lot of fun. Are they going to announce the last class? Maybe. My guess is that they've flirted with the idea of multi-classing. And I wonder if they're going to have some really ridiculous over-the-top skit where like a guy comes out as a barbarian and then like starts taking out like like wands and starts like casting spells and stuff. Like, I don't know. They announced multi-classing already? Yes, they did announce multi-classing, but they haven't really talked about it. They haven't explained how it's going to work. Like there's still like a lot of people aren't 100% sure, including me, that it's going to be on a release. So like we'll see. But I hope that that's what we're going to see at the panel from hell. I don't know if oh my God. To go back to the class command, we're going to make a video. It's going to be the first thing I do. We're probably going to spend like at least half an hour, if not longer, just going over the classes, every single subclass, all the races, and like kind of looking at everything there is to look at in depth. And then at the end of that, I'm going to pick my class. And then we have to decide if we're going to multi-class, if that's available. And like, oh my Lord, dude. Woo! Cohh's going to be a bard? I might. Bard is one of the, I'm looking at bard, I'm looking at monk. The only thing I've agreed to is that in my last like multiple big playthroughs, I've played a bow class. And I have said, at the behest of chat, that I will not play a bow class. At least not for my first run. So, we'll see. That's the only thing I can say relatively certain. Yeah. But I don't know if I'm going to be a caster. Maybe we want to play a tank. Maybe we'll play a bard. Maybe we'll play a rogue, like a super DPS-y rogue. I don't know, man. We're going to have lots of options. I do kind of like the idea of playing like one of those Shadow Knights that renounces his vows and like tries to become a good dude. Like that could be kind of fun. I know I'm going to do my normal lawful evil tomfoolery, the first run at least. Because that's how I have the most fun. I'm dumb and lame and vanilla. But, so we'll do that. Let's see if there's a cookie cutter shark in here. But Cohh, you played a rogue in Diablo as well. You can't really compare an ARPG to a turn-based CRPG. Max Cohh, if you had to pick now, would you say Darkest Dungeon 2 or Dave the Diver in your current Indie of the Year? I'm not going to talk about that yet, because that's kind of top 10 territory. So I'm gonna respectfully decline answering that right now. I will say both are phenomenal, and I absolutely loved both of them. I am loving both of them. So, you know, they're both incredible. I have a lot of hours in Darkest Dungeon. We actually finished that game, which was, and I never finished the first one. I finished the second one, never finished the first one. So I remember there are, I think there's a rhino fish through here, and maybe a pressure shark, or maybe a frilled shark. Let's see. Paladin fits the main character really nicely with good saves, high social, and high burst potential. Dude, Paladin is absolutely something we might look at. 100% something we might look at. But we'll save all that for our start time. Yeah, you'll need to be here for that, Madrica. I'd love your input. Am I going to do a good or evil playthrough? I always start with a good playthrough. I always start with generally a neutral good playthrough is what I start with. How many minutes would it take for Cohh to break his oath on his paladin? Or you shut up. Cohh always does boring playthroughs. I do. I will say I'm going to force myself on normal difficulty to do an evil playthrough of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, a main story focused evil playthrough before Rogue Trader comes out. I told you I would, and I'm going to do it. We're going to beginning to end it. It's going to be easy, normal to easy difficulty. We're probably going to do Lich or Demon. I don't know yet. We'll see, but we are going to, I owe you that, and we're going to do it. I'm going to force myself through it. It's pronounced Paladon. It's pronounced Paladin. That's how it's pronounced. Okay. You can pronounce it two ways. You can pronounce it Paladin, or you can pronounce it wrong. Yep. My buddy growing up used to pronounce it, what was it? Paladin. And every time he said it, I would be like, not Paladin. What class alignment did you recommend for a fun playthrough of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous? There are tons of super entertaining classes in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I played an Aasimar, was it a ranger? Or no, yeah, a certain subclass of an Aasimar ranger. And I had a great time with it, but it was very, oh, there's one right there. It was very direct. Like there wasn't like a huge amount of fun with it. He was just really strong. But there are tons of fun classes. An ASMR ranger, yes. It kind of depends on how you want to play. That's one of the beautiful things about Pathfinder, both Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous. Like, do you want to have a lot to do in combat, or do you want to like take one thing and make it super like finely tuned? Like there's lots of classes that offer lots of different ways to play it. So it really is like how you want to play the game. Make that decision, and then you can pick your class. Casters are an absolute blast, but of course they're much more technical than, you know, a bow user or a kineticist or something like that. Yeah, I played a bow slayer. Oh, there it is, right there. Beautiful. Slayer's not a range. Was a slayer a subclass of ranger, or was it its own class? Maybe it was its own class. All right, we're gonna actually go back down and turn this in. Slayer is its own class. Yeah, I played a Slayer and then I played a Deliverer, I think, which was like a certain type of Slayer. Very, very strong bow user, which is one of the reasons I'm not doing a bow user in BD3. Yeah. Ow. chicken with the pulley in the middle. These totally respawn. Did I play the DLCs? No, I never played the DLCs for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Nope. I may someday. I'll probably do like another huge like Kingmaker into Wrath of the Righteous, do all the DLCs. Like we'll go back at some point and do big runs of those. Probably still a couple to a few years down the line, but it'll be a lot of fun. Something to look forward to. Oh, I gotta start coming down here more and doing this lady. Yeah, I know what I said. We gotta look at her buffs. Promise an evil run is a charity goal. Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. We were gonna do that before Rogue Trader. Increases melee damage by 150. I like the harpoon guns. Probably that one. I think like, yeah, I like the movement speed. Oh my god. I love how she has her own cutscene. Okay. I wonder if our seahorses ever gain stamina. Let's go take a look. Oh, whoops. Dude, I think this is bugged. This should totally show if we have quests and stuff, and it's not doing that. But it should show us when we have quests to turn in and when quests are available, and we'll come back and check tomorrow. Red Dog, thank you for your Prime sub, man. I very much appreciate it. Thanks for supporting what we do here, dude. Nice. Stop that. Great. Oh, you never got new quests after those? Is that pretty much it? Dude, does their stamina ever go back up? I don't think it does. Huh. It varies? Okay. Boom. Oh, we don't get Bay if we. Oh. We only get Bay if we oh, a team race. What is this? Oh my god, what is this? There's team races? Yeah, so is he. Oh my god, look at this one at the top. Oh! Oh! Oh god! I didn't even have my hand on my mouse. Okay, so we can totally do these to get more Bay. The only thing is, though, again, like, I'm not really sure. Like, once things hit the bottom, do we just throw them away? Like, how... I can't do anything with these. I can't delete them. Like, is the idea that we just wear them all into the ground and then they're done forever? Seems a little weird. I don't know. It seems a little weird. Thief Boy, is it ethical to support this game? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to walk through your house. Write down where every single item you got was from a company-wise. Trace it all the way back to the source. Fundamentally research each of those companies and make sure that you agree with every single business decision they've made. And then anything that doesn't line up with you, put it into a pile and burn it. TLDR is it ethical to buy this game? Do you like the game? Well, there's a lot of passionate people making it, so probably. Does Nexon do some shady stuff? Absolutely. Do most big companies do shady stuff? At some point, yes. In this case, just like everything, everyone has a personal bar that decides if something is too much for them. Some people are huge fans of Dark and Darker and hate how Nexon is treating them. Some people hate over-monetization of games, and Nexon is very famous for that. If that's the kind of stuff that really bugs you, then personally, make that decision if supporting that is your thing. For me personally, I tend to, unless there are extreme cases, I tend to take a game for just a game. And I also tend to understand that a lot of times there's a huge amount of very passionate people that work on these projects that have nothing to do with the decision-making of the parent company. So, and you are, and I see it in my views that I'm more supporting them. So that's my personal way on it, but I can't decide for you. And I respect whatever decision you make on that, as everyone else should as well. So the best you can do, educate yourself, make a pros and cons list, and see if it's something you feel comfortable doing. There you go. So is it ethical to this game? I can't answer that for you. For me, it's not, but your answer may be different. Yeah, there you go. Am I still on chapter 6? I am. Yeah, we just did the little event in the evening to get the suit that we need to go down into the glacial area. What's this game about? Dave and diving. Kixel, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I have stopped commenting on the Nexon Dark and Darker stuff because that case is super evolving, and to put it bluntly, I have not been keeping up with all the details. The Nexon Dark and Darker stuff there's a whole lot of details on both sides that are constantly coming out, and I have not been keeping up with it. So I don't want to give you any wrong information. That's one of those. It's one of those situations where it's like I am ignorant of it, and I know I'm ignorant of it, so I'm not going to comment on it. One day I'll sit down and get all caught up, but I am not all caught up right now. Yes, yes. Also, to be clear, because we have a lot more viewers now than the beginning of the stream, I do want to let people know that I was erroneously saying that this game was not made by Nexon. Last night, I did some research during Drop Frames after chat was basically screaming at me to do it. It does turn out that Mint Rocket, the developer of this game, was created and is a subsidiary of Nexon. It is not a random indie company that is being published by Nexon. This game is fundamentally from the ground up a Nexon product. So that was wrong of me to say otherwise. I didn't know that. Now I do. So for me, it's still not a deal breaker, but it might be for some of you, and it's important to get the right info out there. Yeah. And I'm sorry that I was wrong about that. I was told otherwise, and it turned out to be inaccurate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, we want this guy for sure. This is not great. This whole area is kind of rude. Okay. We're gonna get this guy, and I think we're gonna get out of here. Cohh apology video when? Metal Militia, well, I'm glad you have the right info to make the decision you want to, bud. More power to you. Oh, I will say this. We also found this out last night. So for those wondering how I could have been wrong on that, kind of funny. So if you go to Dave the Diver, the short answer is it is trying to be kind of hidden. Developer, Mint Rocket. Publisher, Mint Rocket. Then you click on Mint Rocket. Nexon. There's no question that they are trying to kind of maybe distance themselves. Like, you know, it's easy to make the mistake, we'll say. It's easy to make the mistake. It's not the hardest to do that. So yeah, they clearly are trying to distance themselves. They're trying to distance Mint Rocket from Nexon. Yeah. It's a little shady, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little shady. Yeah. A little shady. A good old bait and switch. What are the TLDR issues with Nexon? Primarily, their pay-to-win mechanics in games, kind of predatory monetization, and then on top of that, there's been a more recent, like, big, we'll call it a kerfluffle with Dark and Darker, and it is not an easy situation. Don't let anyone tell you that it is. The stuff with Dark and Darker is detail-heavy, convoluted, involves timelines. It is not a cut and dry situation. Yeah, it is. It's a thing that I'm not going to get into. Like I said earlier, you need to educate yourself on it if you're really interested. Yep. It's relatively deep. Cuttlefish says, is it gray area? We don't really know if it's gray area because there's so many details that are even still coming out about it, and some that are locked behind lawsuit stuff. So like one side saying one thing, one side saying the other. A lot of the facts are pointing it to be somewhere in the middle. And again, this is just from when I looked into it last. It's changing. Has been changing all the time. So yeah, it's a thing. Slow down there, big guy. Again, the best you can do is check it out yourself. I do not have all the latest info on that. I don't think we've done really anything with Hammerhead stuff yet. So hopefully we have a lot of Hammerhead meat that we can turn into something real good for Shark Week. Undead Poopy said the best thing you can do is not worry about it. You know, I wouldn't tell people not to worry about it. Some people are really big about having all the details. So, what's my opinion on it? what I just said. I have not, I am waiting for the facts to come out, and I have not been following it too closely. So I am waiting for, you know, waiting for a big story to come out about it that has all the facts, which I'm sure will happen when all the facts are available. The lawsuit's ongoing. So. Don't get me wrong, I err on the side of indie devs, but I also, I'm more about fairness than the underdog. And indie devs are not infallible. So, you know, for me, it's more important that the right parties get their comeuppance. Yep. And I don't know who deserves their comeuppance right now. But we'll see. Are there great white sharks in this game? Yeah, actually we have to hunt one tonight. We're going to be hunting a great white shark tonight. Actually, we're supposed to find its location and then report back, but I think we're probably going to end up hunting it. We'll see. Oh, dude, man, it is so dumb when that happens. I have no idea why it does that. Like, sometimes this just won't... I think it's because he's floating around too much or something. There we go. We got it. We need more of these because we've been selling these guys like crazy. We need to go to our fish farm and see if there's any more there. I want the marlin over here. The sailfish, excuse me. Sailfish marlin. Ow. Ow. This guy's hit for so much of our O2. Where do I find the microphone? What do you mean? Like my microphone for streaming or one in the game? Oh, you mean the microphone in the game. That's in Shipwreck. That's where I am now. Funny enough. Am I watching TennoCon this year? I pretty much watch TennoCon every year. Yeah. So I'll probably watch TennoCon this year. Mm-hmm. Oh god, I'm getting inked now. One second. Cool. Am I using in-ears or speakers? I use speakers. Mm-hmm. Yep. We're about full. Yep, we're good. Let's call it. I hired Cohh in game. Hell yeah, buddy. Enjoy. Seeing as you hit level 5 halfway through Baldur's Gate 3 early access, do you think 12 is enough? I can't answer that now, obviously, but I will say that D&D notoriously gets significantly harder to level as you level. So I don't think we're going to be like hitting level 12 in Act 2 kind of thing. Uh-huh. Oh, that's a new type of mineral. How do you know when we're talking over the phone? Because I installed a CCTV on your boat. Okay. I work on a new weapon when the mineral arrives. I will add ingredients to the list. Secure them and let me know. I will eagerly await for never before seen minerals to arrive. Goodbye, eternity. New gun list. You can now create weapons with the Sea People's materials. Visit the workshop at the Sea People village to find new materials available. Death rifle? 25 topaz? I don't even know what topaz is. Okay. That must be something at the bottom. Cool.